play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change, looking for pain, pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane, pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test and expect nothing less, your check is I'm chess, what's happening next, yeah. He got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second. This life is a lesson, he got a new engine from pain that's a blessing. New focus, no guessing, just bold and obsession, all in his possession. You got their attention, I'll leave an impression and take your redemption. Just kill, no discretion, your mind is a weapon. 11-11, it's time for progression, You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they see me. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try the chains, you can say no, free me. So he's been looking for somebody who could save him, instead of searching inside for what they gave him. A strong will, strong mind causes mayhem. We could change the world, change times, rearrange them. Staying on pace, running the race. Life is a chase, I don't want a place, I wanna be first. Work till it hurts, dehydrated thirst till I'm in a hearse. High ambitions and the right mind can take you so far. It's like you lived a few lifetimes. Take off from a break off from the weak minds. They can stay soft, you can change lives, you create thoughts, never waste time. You got one shot, you got one life, better pop off. What do you like? Make a dream job. No 9-5, no mean boss, just my life and free thoughts. You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing. Try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change, looking for pain, pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane, pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test and expect nothing less, your check is I'm chess, what's happening next, yeah. He got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second. This life is a lesson, he got a new engine from pain that's a blessing. New focus, no guessing, just bold and obsession, all in his possession. You got their attention, I'll leave an impression and take your redemption. Just kill, no discretion, your mind is a weapon. 11-11, it's time for progression, You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they see me. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try the chains, you can say no, free.
What up, what up, what up, football fans? What up, Miami Dolphins fans? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to another episode of the Finn Posse Morning Show. I'm your host, Big C, and this is brought to you by Game Changers Media. How's everybody doing this morning? How's everybody doing this morning? Good morning, Damien. Good morning, Scotty. Oh, man. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? Names continue to fall off the board as we enter day 2 of the legal tampering period. Day 2 of the legal tampering period. Contracts can become official tomorrow, I'm pretty sure. Names continue to come off the board. Just this morning alone, we've seen names like Javon Howland, Will Fries, Hargrave. They just continue to keep coming off the board. They continue to keep coming off the board. Yesterday, the Miami Dolphins, they didn't make a move for a very long time. Then they end up bringing in Zach Wilson to be our backup quarterback on a 1-year, $6 million fully guaranteed deal. I'm not in love with that contract. I'm not in love with the player. I don't know if that's the answer to our backup quarterback problems. Yeah, I started a little early. I had a doctor's appointment this morning. I just got home. And then I have another appointment in a little while. Good morning, Scotty. And then we go and we sign Daniels. And, you know, Daniels is a very low-risk a low risk deal, as Scotty had put in the chat. You know, it's basically just a 1-year deal that we can get out of. Listen, the guy's got phenomenal talent, but he's a classic Chris Grier Miami Dolphin move. Someone that is coming off an injury. Is he even going to be ready at the beginning of the season? Can we guarantee that he's going to be ready at the beginning of the season? There's a reason that he was only $8 million. There's a reason that he was a 3-year, $24 million with some of the numbers these guys are getting. Well, Will Fries just signed a 5-year, $88 million deal. What's that, 17 and a half a year? So there's a reason Daniels only got a 3-year, $24 million deal. Yeah, Scotty, the more I think about it, the more that it worries me. Like, I have a feeling that he might not be ready for the beginning of the year. I just haven't been overly impressed with the moves. We signed another injury-prone player from the Detroit Lions, corner, #safety. I'm not going to even attempt to say his name. But he's definitely missed more games than he's played throughout his short career. Got him on a 1-year, $4 million deal. What do we got to do? What does Chris Grier got to do to turn this around? Because, I mean, we were all happy that Daniels was signed last night, but after sleeping on it, I think we were just happy that Chris Grier made some kind of move for a position at need, and it was a guy that we all knew, and we all knew that he's a good player. But it's a classic Miami Dolphins move. It's a classic Chris Grier move. Injury, a guy coming off a major injury, and we really don't know what Daniels is going to bring to the table. I was told yesterday we waited for his medical reports, and they say he'll be ready to start late May, June-ish. I mean, that's late May, June-ish. What he heard it he heard it early October. So October, November. He probably didn't even have surgery for the first couple of weeks. So you got to say mid-October. October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May. Yeah, I mean, May's 8 months. Yeah, I mean, that's crazy, Scotty. I mean, Banks got $19.7 million. Yeah, I mean, if Daniels works out, it's a great move. It's a great move. But the Daniels is less of a sure thing. We got to hope and pray that he's the same player that he was before this injury. But that's not enough. We have so many holes on this team. Are we going to continue to watch names come off this board and not do anything? Javon Holland, $15 million a year for the New York Giants. $15 million a year. Why were we not in play for that? And listen, I was a big Javon Holland guy, and then I fell off on Javon Holland. His lack of effort really got to me. Maybe he was trying to protect himself so he could collect the bag, guarantee his future. Yeah, Scotty, I want to dispute that. Daniels pre-injury probably was the best offensive guard in free agency. But you're right, that was pre-injury. How come we were not in play for Javon Holland? After we watched all these other safeties come off the board, especially at the prices they were coming off at, why were we not in play for Javon Holland? Javon Holland got $15 million a year for the New York Giants. What's that equal out to get paid the same by the Miami Dolphins. I mean, you got to think. I live in New York. New York's got some of the highest taxes in the country. Some of the highest taxes in the country. So the difference between $15 million in New York and $15 million in Florida, you could have probably, for the same price, you could have probably got Javon Holland for $12 million a year down there. I never expected to sign Holland back neither. But I mean, if he only got 15 from the Giants, I feel like I think the money equals out to like, I mean, you're better with the numbers than I am, Scotty, so I don't want to shoot a fake number out there. But I know New York has a 8% sales tax. The tax on your income is crazy. I feel like 12 million a year in Florida equals 15 million a year in New York. Yeah, I mean, that's too bad that it comes down to that. I mean, you got a general manager that can't work with a whole company that represents NFL players. And I think we can agree that we'd welcome Javon Holland back, especially for the amount of money that these safeties are getting in this free agency. I think we'd welcome Javon Holland back at 12, right? Am I the only one on that hill? Am I the only one that thinks that we should have re-signed Javon Holland for 12? I would have been all right giving Javon Holland 12. Think about it. We gave Zach Wilson $6 million guaranteed. We gave the safety from Detroit $4 million. That's $10 million right there. Javon Holland ain't $2 million better than those two players. Yeah, Michael, he wasn't physical enough. He definitely fell off. But is Javon Holland better than anything else we're going to be able to get in free agency right now? Yeah, I feel you, Scotty. I'm just like, things like that irritate me too. I ain't gonna lie. That stuff does bug me. I'm just trying to put the best team possible forward so we can have a successful season. I just want a good team, a good football product on the field so we have a chance. There's nothing worse than going into a season knowing that you have no shot. And I feel like whoever we put back there and replace of Javon Holland isn't going to be as talented as Javon Holland. That Joey Bosa shit is a joke to me. I've heard different numbers. I heard 10 million. I've heard 15 million for Joey Bosa. If you go and you offer Joey Bosa $15 million, but you wouldn't offer a top guard 15 million or a top safety 15 million, I'm going to be really pissed. Draft a guy cheap that's willing to sacrifice. Michael, yeah, we need to draft a guy, but we got 2 open spots at safety. We got 2 open spots. We need 2 safeties. We probably need 3. Grier will have 18 part-time defensive ends on this roster. Yeah, making a shit ton of money. Making a shit ton of money. We just have so many other holes that I don't see why we're even contemplating Joey Bosa. I want Watts. I want turnover plays at the safety position. Yeah, I would, that Ed Reed type of player. Rashad Jones was a playmaker for us at the safety position. I love Rashad Jones. Rashad Jones was my dude. Rashad Jones was my dude. Let's take a look at some of the remaining free agents at each position. I mean, there's still some good players out there. There's still a bunch of good players out there. But what's Chris Grier got to turn this free agency into a success? What's Chris Grier got to do to turn this free agency into a success? What's that look like? What moves does he got to do? What moves does he got to make to save this free agency that you feel confident moving forward going into the draft? So quarterbacks, obviously we got ours was with Wilson. He's not even good enough to be on this list, which is crazy. You got Sam Darnold, who signed his contract, Justin Fields, who signed with the Jets, Aaron Rodgers still available, Russell Wilson still available, Jameis Winston, Daniel Jones, Jacoby Brissett, Marcus Mariota, Mason Rudolph, Joe Flacco, Mac Jones. I personally would have took any of those quarterbacks over Zach Wilson. Maybe not Joe Flacco. Well, shoot, I don't know. I mean, Flacco's old, but I mean, can you put him in and he can win you a game? Sure. But everybody on that list, I would take over Zach Wilson. Again, mistake. Chris Grier. I'm not in love with the contract neither. $6 million. $6 million, fully guaranteed. Running backs. Aaron Jones back to Minnesota. Najee Harris to the Chargers. J.K. Dobbins is available. Nick Chubb's available. Williams went to the Cowboys. Rico's available. Kareem Hunt. Gus Edwards. Juszczyk. Listen, I'd be calling about Nick Chubb, that short yardage back. See if he's got something. J.K. Dobbins, he played really good for the Chargers last year. I'd be making a call. We need a third running back. We need a short yardage running back. Get on the horn, see what the price is on some of these guys. We need another receiver. We need a bigger red zone target. We need a big physical receiver. What's that look like to you? Amari Cooper still available. Diggs still available. Hopkins, Keenan Allen, Deontay Johnson, Mike Williams, Moore, Hardman, Scantling, Cooks, Klein, Brown, Tyler Boyd, Schuster, Van Jefferson, Jones, Watson, Patrick, Johnson, Woods, Lockett. There's some pretty decent receivers still available. Not much left for the tight end position. I mean, Evan Ingram's there. He's a nice receiving threat. Offensive tackle, you got Cam Robinson, Tyron Smith, Willis. He's a nice piece. Trent Brown. Interior offensive lineman. I still think we need to get another one of these guys. The guys remaining, I really like Tevin Jenkins. Tevin Jenkins is still a younger player. He's a good player. I wouldn't be mad at that pick. Zietler's older. I mean, last resort, I'd go Zietler. Mekhi Becton. Mekhi Becton's interesting to me. He's a big, huge man. He played very well with the Eagles last year. I wouldn't be mad at Mekhi Becton. Sheriff, Hernandez, Reisner, they're all last resort type players. Edge defender, you got Von Miller, Zadarius Smith, Joey Bosa, DeMarcus Lawrence, Fowler, Judon. Listen, you could probably get Matthew Judon super cheap. If you want to add another pass rusher, go bring Matthew Judon here for $5 million a year. You could probably get Matthew Judon for $5 million. Look at Derek Barnett re-signed with the Houston Texans, 1 year, $5 million. I'd much rather get a player like that than Joey Bosa, who is going to find his way to the injury report for $15 million a year. For $15 million a year. Interior defensive line, we need one of these. Hargrave. I wouldn't mind Levi. I think Levi could be good for us. But a lot of these guys are gone. Calais. Listen, I don't think Calais is going to come back with the moves that we've made. I don't think we've done enough to give Calais confidence that we can contend next year. There's really not a lot left, which leads me to believe that we might have to go defensive tackle in the first round. That might be the move we have to make, because there's not a hell of a lot left at the defensive tackle position. Linebacker, I really wanted Greenlaw. The players that are left, you got Dotson, Roberts. He's good against the run. He's a good run stopping linebacker. I really think we need to bring Dotson back though. Maybe Devin White would be interesting, but not a whole hell of a lot left at linebacker neither. I definitely bring Dotson back. Cornerback, they're starting to come off the board. DJ Reed's gone. Ward's gone. Murphy re-signed with the Vikings. The Vikings are making moves too. Carlton Davis is gone. I don't really get why we released Kendall Fuller. He was all right last year. Yeah, he dealt with the concussion issue. I probably would have kept him though. People that I would like to see us add, maybe take a flyer on Asante Samuel Jr., Rasul Douglas. I thought Darius Slay signed somewhere. Am I wrong? Gilmore could be solid. Someone that's not going to give up a bunch of big plays. We're gonna eventually have to address that position in the draft and bring in a young guy, but we might just have to do a plug and play right now. In the safety position, again, Javon Holland off the board. I really think we should have made an offer with the amount of money that he got. I feel like we could have got him for $12 million. And I would have brought Javon back for 12. You got Justin Reed. I wouldn't mind adding Justin Reed. Justin Simmons. Mind you, these are all older guys. They're not going to be here long. And we're going to eventually have to make moves to replace them. I know everybody would like to have younger guys at each position, but I mean, at this point, we're gonna have to fill the position with what we can fill it with to put the best team possible forward. Julian Blackman, I wouldn't mind that. You got Quandre Diggs, Jalen Mills. If I had my choice at these safeties, I'd probably take Justin Simmons or Justin Reed, and then get Malachi Starks or Emma Worry in the draft. But these guys ain't gonna be here long. Chris Grier's got to make something happen. Yeah, Scotty, he's 25, former third rounder, 6'3", but he can't stay healthy. Yeah, Scotty, I mean, we don't have to take it in the first. I really like Deion Walker from, Kentucky. And lots of drafts, he'd be available in the third. Good morning, Chef Ju. What's going on? I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much. Good morning, Timothy. I'd check out Devin White, Tim. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that Zach Wilson signing at all. It's not even just the player. It's the contract. 1 year, $6 million, fully guaranteed. Good morning, Bonnie. Wait, I feel like you could have had him for $3 million. And that's who you feel confident bringing into the game with a. I mean, we don't got a good offensive line yet. Here's to wishful thinking that by the time the season comes around that we do have a good offensive line. But you want to put Zach Wilson behind our offensive line and expect him to go out there and win us games if and when Tua goes down? Worst contract for a backup quarterback ever. Yeah, I mean, that's bad. It's really bad. I don't understand it. I want Devin White. My friend said that's his cousin. That's cool. Good morning, Lady Dolphin, Bonnie, 5 OG, Timothy, with OG Scott, Michael. Yeah, $6 million guaranteed, up to $10 million. Throw 3 touchdowns, and you get the other $4 million. Yeah, I hated that move. I was mind blown when we were talking about bringing in a competent backup quarterback. I never thought that Zach Wilson was going to be an option. Like, he's not even good enough to be on the list of free agent quarterbacks. Not even on the list. Zach going to end up banging McDaniel's wife. Zach's mom won't stop DMing me now. Well, his mom's kind of hot, right? Oh man. So what in you guys' opinion, I want to see in the chat. What does Chris Grier got to do to turn this free agent signing period around? What signings would turn it around for you? And make them realistic. I mean, obviously you could take the rest of the highest paid players on this list, the best from each position, and throw them in a list, and yeah, that would fix it. But what players does Chris Grier gotta sign here in the next 24 hours to change your opinion of how this free agency class went? Timothy says Telvin Jenkins. To me, he's better than Huntley or Thompson. 5 backups we had. Is he though? Is he better than Hunt? I think he's better than Thompson, but is he better than Huntley? Damian says a good linebacker. Need the defensive tackle from the Lions. Wish we would have ponied up for Greenlaw. Yeah, B Show 58. I would have loved Greenlaw. I just feel like he's got that dog in him. Devin White, Timothy says. B Show said if Grier gets the defensive tackle from the Lions, I'm good. Yeah, Levi. Damian says Devin White. Damian, I mean. Scotty, who do they got to sign to turn it around? Who do they got to bring in? Craig says, I won it. You won it what, Craig? Listen, I'm not big on Jameis Winston because he turns the ball over a ton, but I would have rather had Jameis Winston also. Reed at safety would be good. I think if we could bring in Levy and get Justin Reed at safety, I'd be all right. And maybe even Will Hernandez at guard. Because then in your first 3 picks, you can still go safety, you can still go guard, and you can still go defensive tackle. And I think you can get a pretty decent linebacker in the 4th round. The Daniels signing was the best signing by far, but it would be a much better signing if Daniels was a backup. Listen, if Daniels comes back healthy, Daniels is a great signing. If Daniels comes back healthy, that's a great signing. Hernandez or Jenkins. Yeah, Damian, now we're asking too much. You're asking him to hit on 1, 2, 3, 4 picks. You're asking him to pick up 4 guys. I don't have confidence that he picks up even one more to he might think Daniels, addressed it and he's good. He might think that he added a top tier talent to the offensive line, so he's good now. Forget the fact that top tier talent at the offensive guard position is coming back from a major injury. He wants us to forget that. Myers the backup Brewer would be nice. Well, I know a lot of these names are going to come off the board today, so I think Chris Grier's got to create some more cap space first and foremost. But we gotta get something. We gotta get something going. And if he wants any chance of bringing Grier or Calais back, he's got to start doing something. And Scotty, I know that you want to rebuild this team young, but I feel like Calais, you need to have some veteran leadership. Calais Campbell's a great locker room guy. He's a great on the field guy. Calais is needed on this defensive. He's needed on that defensive side of the ball. Chef Shu says, I just want us to have the Great Wall of Miami, O-line to keep Tua upright. It's Chef Shu, that fixing the offensive line to me is less about keeping Tua upright because Tua doesn't take a lot of sacks. It's more about opening up the run game, which will open up the passing game. That's the importance of the offensive line to me. It's not really about protecting Tua. Of course, I want Tua protected. He's an injury-prone quarterback. But it's more so, to me, it's about creating a running game here in Miami that will open up the passing game. That's why I've been pounding the board for the offensive line. We struggle to run the ball because we struggle up front. And since we struggle up front and we struggle to run the ball, teams don't respect our run. So they get to sit back and watch our quarterback's eyes and get to play our receivers tight, and it's hard to move the ball. We can't throw deep because they got 2 deep safeties, because the safeties don't got to play up close to the line of scrimmage because they're not worried about our running game. Giving Tua more than 1.2 seconds to throw would be nice. Absolutely, Scotty. I'm not saying that's not an important piece. I'm just saying opening up that run game would have such a crazy effect on the rest of the offense. Bonnie says, I'm not mad about Zach Wilson. He was a number 2 pick for a reason. He just unfortunately got stuck in New York. The Jets ruined all their quarterbacks. We know what his floor is, but have we seen his ceiling? I just don't know if the kid wants it. You know what I mean? Like, does the kid want it? And I understand the Jets ruin a lot of players. But I don't know. I mean, the guy's definitely got a rocket arm. make it 3rd and 1 and blow my mind. That's absolutely, Scotty. That's why I think we should be. I mean, I think J.K. Dobbins will probably. He had a decent year last year, if I'm not mistaken. So he might be a little too rich for our blood. But yeah, I would be making a call about some of these running backs. Yeah, I don't know about that, Scott. I know he's got a rocket arm and he can make any throw. That's the real reason he was drafted. He went and made that throw from his knees at his pro day, and he looked phenomenal throwing the ball. But I don't know if he's got it between the ears. I hear you and agree with you, Big C, on the running game. I was trying to type that, but I hit the send button by accident. Now you're good. Chef, I know you know what you're talking about, brother. Because I feel the same way that what you said about protecting Tua. Because that's super important too. Don't get me wrong. That's super important too. Good morning, Raphael. We're going to the Super Bowl with Zach Wilson. Javon Holland went to the New York Football Giants. I have yet to talk to my cousin Mike about it, but I'm sure that he will be happy about that. I'd love to get Nick Chubb or J.K. Dobbins. Yeah, I mean, they'd be a very nice change of pace. In lots of games, they could get I like H-Chan a lot, but lots of times Chubb could be the leading rusher for the team. J.K. could be the leading rusher for the team. I mean, H-Chan's a undersized running back. You don't necessarily want to see him running the ball 25 times a game. I think Miami as a city just isn't going to work well with Zach, in my opinion, unfortunately. I mean, yeah, he's young, he's rich, he's good looking. He's the quarterback of a football team. I mean, that could equal bad things that happen. At this point, I think I would take Dillon over Chubb or Dobbins. Am I on the wrong path there? I can be convinced. I don't think Dillon's a bad choice neither. I mean, Chubb and Dobbins definitely have more of an injury history than Dillon. Dillon's a short yardage powerhouse back too, though. I wouldn't be, to be honest, Scotty, I won't be mad at any of those. I think Chubb is probably, if Chubb can make it back fully from them injuries, Chubb is obviously the most talented of the three. I think Dobbins has a real. I think we've seen the best, more so the best of Dillon, and I don't think his best is as good as Dobbins or Chubb, but I think his floor is higher than Chubb and Dobbins' floor, if that makes sense. I just think Nate Chubb has some that we don't have in the running back room power. Yeah. And Chubb catches the ball decently out the backfield. And like I said, out of the three, Chubb has been the biggest star in this league. I mean, Dobbins has never really had a real shot. He's just been injured. Yes, McGase needs to rely on the running game more than abandon in key moments. Also, Wright needs more carries. All aboard the A chain and Wright train. I mean, I actually felt that he tried to stick with the run last year. He did a better job of not just forgetting the run. I thought he did a much better job. We just weren't a team built to run the ball last year. We just weren't a team to run the ball. We weren't built that way. Our offensive line was terrible. Offensive line was absolutely terrible. We couldn't run the ball. But I think he did a better job at trying to stick with it. Do you think Chris or Mike McDaniel comes out with and makes adjustments to his offense? Do we see new wrinkles in it this year? Because a lot of these people will say that, you know, they've started to figure out Chris Grier's or Mike McDaniel's offensive scheme and this and that. I mean, I think it's more of we didn't have the players to run it correctly. We didn't have the players to make it successful. Do we see a new wrinkle in it this year? Does he add something new to it? Morning, Big C. Get Blackman today. Good morning. Good morning. What up, Shake Money? Signing Chubb would be the equivalent of Henry, in my opinion. I mean, I wouldn't go that far, Timothy, but I think Chubb could. I think Chubb could be a nice piece for us. I really do. I really do. I just know that we gotta fill some more of these holes before free agency. I mean, before the draft. My fault. Obviously, we're going to sign some players after the draft. More players will be cut, but we can't go into the draft with this many holes. We need to sign at least 2 more starting players, starting caliber players between today and tomorrow. We need to sign a starting safety and either another starting guard or a starting defensive tackle. Texans just got CJ Gardner. Another injury-prone roster filled by GM. Oh. Well, we missed out on Jonathan Allen. He got a $20 million a year deal to the Vikings. I mean, you had to figure he was probably going to get something close to that. You had to figure he was probably going to get something close to that. Does anybody know what the Detroit Lions defensive tackle is supposed to? He's projected at contract-wise? Levy? Why do I feel like we trade Armstead to Texans? Yeah, I think he got a 3-year, $60 million deal. I think he got a 3-year, $60 million. Cowboys to sign Solomon Thomas, defensive tackle. Says Aaron Rodgers is eyeing 2 more years of playing. Yeah, I think personally, Armstead, if he don't play for us, is going to end up calling it a career. I guess Doug is interviewing him today, but I doubt there's little chance that he finds out if he's coming back or not. To not only will Zach beat Josh Allen, but he'll be at his mom as well. Yeah, banged your mom, Josh. Banged your mom, Josh. Oh man, I just know something else got to happen. Yep, Javon Holland to the Giants. I was saying it to Mike last night. I told Mike, co-host of the Blitz, my cousin, that I felt like there was a good chance that Javon Holland went to the Giants. He's like, I'll take him. I'll take him. Well, Shake, would you have brought him back to Miami at 12 mil a year? Safety from we got from the Lions. He's been hurt most of his career, not just the year. Most of his career. I legit think he's missed more games in his career than he's played. He's a big kid, though, 6'3", over 200 pounds. Sick of having these thin DBs or cornerbacks. We need thicker, way more physical cornerbacks or safeties. I think Jalen Ramsey is a pretty physical safe or corner. I think Xavier Howard was a pretty physical corner. Another broken down player. Yeah. Listen, I'd be calling Xavier Howard, seeing what shape he's in. What do you got to lose at this point? Xavier Howard, his last year in Miami, didn't play bad. Xavier Howard's last year in Miami, he didn't play bad. I'd bring him in and see what he's got. You know, he got them. He's gonna have a bunch of child support to pay. You know, he's not gonna be too pricey. See, I mean, his contract in New York is equivalent to 12 million a year in Miami. Holland at safety, Craig. I'd rather see Ramsey as safety. But Howard could be a ball hawking safety also. Scotty says Barham is being kicked inside now that I looked at him. Yeah, he's a big boy. He's definitely a big boy. And, you know, he struggled at these players that have struggled at tackle, you know, lots of times they get moved inside and they're way better players. So hopefully he's one of them diamonds in the rough. Hopefully he can turn into a good rotational piece for us. Make sure you guys hit that like button for me. Listen, I'm trying to grow the channel. I want to get it continues to grow a little bit every day. I want to get to these giveaways. I want to give back to you guys. We're gonna have a blast. But yeah, hitting that like button helps me out big time. I'm all right, Costa Nostra. How are you? I had a doctor's appointment this morning. I think I got some sleep apnea. I ain't trying to get one of them CPAP machines though, man. But yeah, make sure you hit that like button. I'm about to go see how many likes we got right now. We got 25 people in the building. Help Big C out. Help us get there. You only helping yourself out because, once this channel gets monetized and it starts bringing in money, we going to do weekly giveaways, monthly giveaways. And like I said, once we get to 1,000, we got big giveaways coming. We got big giveaways coming. And like I said, there's not a lot of you that be in the chat. So I mean, you got 1 in 20 chance of winning. That's not bad odds. That's not bad odds at all. You know what I mean? After first wave of free agency, how would you grade free agency? D-. Yeah, I mean, I couldn't probably go much. Listen, it's all about how Daniels turns out. If Daniels comes back and he's healthy and he can be the player he was before he was hurt, he's an absolute steal at $8 million per. An absolute steal at $8 million per. When you look what these other guys are getting. I mean, when healthy, James Daniels is every bit as good as Will Fries. I mean, Will Fries is a little bit younger, but he's every bit as good as Will Fries. So Will Fries got 17.5 mil a year. We got Daniels at 8. That would be an absolute steal. That boosted up to a C, I'd say. But we got to make some. This free agency is incomplete right now because we can't be done. There's no way that we can be done. I'd say D so far. Wilson is an F-, and I was out on Daniels, but his contract to risk analysis, completely understand the move. Can you pronounce safety? Hell no, I can't pronounce it. You pronounce it. I'm not bro, I can't pronounce that. I can't. I wouldn't even know how to begin to pronounce that. Let's see if I can.
We got some breaking news, man, coming out of the city of Detroit. And we knew that these dominoes would start to fall sooner than later as that 2021 draft class has neared the end of their term with the particular teams that they're on. The Detroit Lions have lost the first pick acquired from the Matthew Stafford trade. Coming from Adam Schefter, says former Lions third-round pick, Afitu Melifonwu, reached an agreement on a 1-year.
Afite Melifonwu. Afite Melifonwu. He said it quick. I don't know if he pronounced it right. He tried to say it quick. Free agency is upon us, and the only move our Dolphins make is to sign a backup quarterback. So scared of. They didn't sign a backup quarterback. They played a third. They signed a third string quarterback. They signed a practice squad quarterback. A practice squad quarterback. Zach Wilson is a practice squad quarterback. Until he shows me different. Listen, Chris Grier, you better make something happen today. Impress us. Impress us, impress us, impress us. Improve our team. Because right now, the consensus is we got a D- draft, and that's being kind. So you got to make some more moves. Bring Tim Boyle. What? Costa Nostra, you stop it. See, everyone gives Grier crap about not re-signing draft picks. But the reality is, in the NFL, 60% of draft picks that re-sign do so with another team. That's league wide. Yeah, I mean, they always think that the grass can be greener on the other side. They always value themselves more than what they should truly be valued. But the fact of the matter is that they're right. You got these teams that have so much cap room that someone is bound to overpay them. So why not test free agency? Why not test your luck, get the free agency, and someone's going to overpay you? Someone is bound to overpay you. That's why players don't stay no more. I mean, like, let's be real. Javon Howland, $15 million a year for the Giants. If we offered him $10 million, even 10, you want to move up here to cold ass New York, where the taxes are extreme on everything. Everything. Like, not only do you get that money taken out your paycheck, not only do you got to pay that large amount of money out your paycheck every check, you got 8% sales tax on everything you buy. Everything you buy. And I'm sure the price of living in Miami is not cheap, but it's not the price of living in New York City. It's not the price of living in New York City. So now, I mean, I'm sure Javon Owen has a home in Miami. Now you got to buy a new home up here. You got to, you know what I mean? You got to relocate your whole family. You got to, for what? He's going to hate it up here. It's cold. It's gloomy 7 out of the 12 months a year. And I'm being nice. It's probably gloomy 8. We don't have clear skies like that. Even in the summertime, we have maybe 10 clear blue skies in New York. The rest are overcast, hot, humid. It's just, I don't know. And then the rest of the year, it's cold, rainy, snowy, bullshit. They all live in Weston now. Yeah, were Banks 19.7 million or Fries 22 million overpaid? I think so, even though I had them ranked top. Fries didn't get 22 million a year. He got 17 and a half, right? I thought Fries got 17 and a half million, not 22. Scotty, Will Fry's deal is for 5 years, not 4. It was 5 years, 88 million, I think. Fries went where did Fries go? Did Fries go to Minnesota? Now you're good, Scotty. It wasn't me trying to correct you. You know what I mean? Yeah, the Vikings are making moves. They brought Will Fries in. They re-signed their quarterback Murphy. They Jonathan Allen. And the Vikings were one of the best teams in the NFL last year. Now you got to worry about JJ McCarthy coming in and how well he's going to play. You don't have Sam Darnold there no more. So, but listen, this Vikings team could be very good. Brian Flores defense. We shall see, though. Yeah, I don't like to feel like I'm correcting people, though. You know what I mean? People people, you probably just looked at it wrong. You know what I mean? Like, again, like sometimes I'm going to be wrong about stuff. And I just feel like there's a certain way that someone can approach, you know what I mean? You don't have to, it's not a competition. We all want what's best for the Miami Dolphins. And sometimes, I may say something that you might not necessarily think is right, or you may say something, but I'm never going to try to make anybody feel not competent. I'm never going to put someone down and make them feel like they're not smart. You know what I mean? Or anything like that. And I'm not saying that was an instance like that. You know what I mean? But I just think there's a right way to go about it. Sometimes I've had trolls come in here and try to make me look bad. You know what I mean? For what? For what? Why try to make me look bad? Maybe I'm not right about something. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm not. But I don't pretend that I'm right about everything. I definitely don't try to pretend I'm right about everything. JD the Great, what up? What up? I haven't seen you in a minute. How you doing? How's it going? Nice of you to stop through. JD the Great, how's things going? What do you think of Chris Grier's lack of free agent signings and the signings he has brought in? I do love Cleo. I love me some Cleo Lemon. He should come back and coach the quarterbacks. Pneumonia and the flu. Yeah, I mean that's terrible business right there, brother. Terrible business. I've had it numerous times. You might as well put me out my misery at that point. The flu and pneumonia, it's literally the closest I think you can get to death. Greenlaw, 15 million, we should have matched. I agree. I agree. We should have matched that 15 million. What the move I like even more is we should have went and got the kid from Kansas City. What's it? Bolton? Bolton is a thumper too. And he signed for like 15 and he's younger without the injuries. I mean, I think we should have went and got Nick Bolton from the Kansas City Chiefs. 15 million a year. Greenlaw and Ernest Jones for me. We definitely need some dogs on this team. And I feel like those could have definitely helped. You put any of those linebackers next to Jordan Brooks, and I think that's a recipe for success. At this point, we got to hope that we can get Dotson back. Yeah, I mean, things are going to play out, and I just struggle to see whole seasons wasted. And if we don't start making something happen, that's the path we're going on. And maybe it's needed though. Maybe that's what we need. Yeah, I didn't expect Bolton to leave Kansas City neither, but shoot, I'm sure we didn't even offer it. We didn't even offer nothing to him. I would have at least, shot my shot. Dotson injury prone. If he's the Dolphins, gonna keep him. Bolton stayed in Kansas City. He just re-signed with Kansas City. I love at least we were slow playing to his restructure and didn't jump at it right away. The only thing that worries me about that, I mean, it's a smart move because you don't want to do it and then not use it and it be wasted. But them not doing it makes me think that they're not planning on making very many moves. I just hope that we go defense with the first 3 picks in the draft. I'd be all right with 2 of those picks being defense, but I think we need another guard. I think we need a little bit more on that offensive line, JD. I think we need a little bit more on that offensive line. F. Jones to the Colts, $14 million, 1-year deal. Unused cap rolls over. Teams don't lose it. We are rolling about. Yeah, but you don't. Cap does roll over, but you don't want to. You don't want to make it harder to get out of Tua's contract for no reason. You know what I mean? Christ, Grier is acting like a disgruntled employee on his last few days or 2-week notice, not giving a fuck about his current employer. You know, we keep acting like they're on the hot seat, but in reality, those words never came out of Stephen Ross's mouth. All he said was the status quo is not going to be acceptable. So maybe this is all made up in our heads. Maybe there really isn't no hot seat for these two, and you know, maybe that's just a made up scenario in our heads. You said Mac Jones got 14 million? Mac Jones got 14 million? We signed a safety from the Detroit Lions. You can't pronounce his name if you wanted to. Quentin Bell is coming back to Miami. Yippee. I believe Ross has Shore handcuffing Grier and certain contracts and moves, but that's just a gut feeling. No supporting evidence. Oh, Daniel Jones, quarterback. Where did he go? Where? Oh, Daniel Jones going to be he might be the starter there. That might not be that's not backup money. I wouldn't be surprised if Daniel Jones wins that job. Sorry. Yeah, Daniel Jones is probably going to win that job. Yeah, I don't know if that's necessarily a quarterback 2 contract, Scotty. I think they might be signing him to start. I really think that he's starting. I seen something about that the other day that they were talking about Daniel Jones coming in and starting. I really do. I really do think that they plan on having him at least compete for it. They brought him in to compete for that starting job. Daniel Jones will start games. They will. If Richardson wins that job, they will absolutely sit him at some point, and Daniel Jones will play games. Good morning, Armando. You should have known Miami wasn't serious about winning when they drafted Tua. That's all about the money. It's just typical. It's typical Chris Grier. He's willing to take that risk on injured players. Mac Jones is a free agent. I was thinking he was under contract with the Jags. Now they said I'm pretty sure he's listed under free agents. I'm pretty sure he's a free agent. All right, folks, hit that like button. Make sure you like, subscribe, share. Listen, if any news comes about, I'll jump back on. If any big signings, I appreciate every single one of you. Let's continue to grow. Let's continue to get closer to that thousand subscribers. Spread the word. Spread the word. We got a lot of big giveaways coming. Also, I'd like to set up a game where we can all meet up in Miami, go to a game together, have some fun. You know what I mean? That should be a blast. I'd like to meet all of you. You know, I think it'd be a real good time. So if any of you are interested in doing something like that, let me know. Final thoughts, Zach is shit. I second that, Scotty. I agree. But yeah, if Miami makes any big moves, I'll jump back on. We'll discuss them. If Miami stays flat-footed like they are right now, I will. I'll see y'all tomorrow, 10 a.m. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Until next time, Chris Grier, get it together and fins up. Peace.